Welcome to another episode of The Minority Voice. I am your host, Jeff Vega, and we have another lovely guest. And I say lovely because it's a young lady, and her name is, and I know I'm going to butcher it, but it's Michele Haroon. Nope. Did I do it right? Did I say it right? Hey, fantastic. Another miracle. Anyways, she's a guest today, and we're going to be talking about a little bit of somewhat politics and what her passion is now. But before we do that, let's tell us a little bit about yourself, Michele.
Sure. Yes. I am a first-generation American. My parents came here from Pakistan, and for several generations before them, they were religious minorities. So, I mean, it was definitely a very exciting thing to be coming to America. And I've just been taught from a young age just how wonderful this country is, and I've been able to, of course, benefit from it. And I'm a professional that lives in Livonia, and
you said you got your roots originally from the Bay City area?
yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have family there, and
Okay.
in that Saginaw area there. So you're Pakistani, you're first generation, and how was that growing up?
It was interesting. My parents were a lot more strict than some of the other parents. So that made for some interesting interactions at home. But
And you did say that you're one of three girls.
yes, I'm the oldest of three girls.
That had to be challenging for your dad. Sorry, but having girls,
Yeah.
beautiful girls, it's always a tough thing. And you also said you're a CPA, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then, but you're not practicing it right now.
No, I mean my license is active, but I don't really practice.
Yeah. So we met down in Brownstown and down almost as far as you can go down south of Michigan, maybe 30 miles. And we went to, what was it, the Michigan Leadership Group? Is that what
Correct.
it was called? Yeah. And you were there representing the Convention of States.
Yes.
Okay. So before we talk about that, because that is somewhat political, prior to that, were you politically active?
I had been in spurts. I had been in the. I had attended a couple of the Tea Party meetings several years ago, but I was really just so busy with my own work and career, so not really.
Yeah, I find that to be the case with a lot of Americans. We're just so busy with our daily lives that we've let the politics up to the politicians, which, and my assessment, and you probably share it, but I think they've done a terrible job.
Yes.
And I think this is what, as a result, the Convention of States came about. So that being said, how did you get involved with the Convention of States? Well, you know what, before you tell me about what is in a real nutshell, what is the Convention of States, and then tell me how you got involved.
Sure. Yes, the Convention of States is a nationwide, nonpartisan, nonprofit project that's been going on almost 10 years, and it is an effort. It's very organized. We have robust technology and everything, and it's been set up to use part of Article 5 in the Constitution so that the states, who are closer to the people, can propose amendments to the Constitution to try to get some logic and control back into the federal government.
Now, I will tell you, you already, when you said Article 5, you lost all of my 13 viewers, subscribers on that. So, but tell me, and then you can go into more of the Convention of
Sure.
States. You were probably like the average American. How did you awaken up to this, to get engaged?
I really just feel like the government is out of control. The federal government was never meant to be so large and so intrusive into our lives, our day-to-day lives. The founding fathers really had set up this country so that the power was closer to the people. They had left they had left Britain where there was a king and a kingdom, and they weren't trying to replicate that when they came here. They said, no, this needs to be about the states and about the people, and just this little itty bitty federal government that just,
Well, the Constitution says, "We the people." It starts off
Yes.
with that. Yeah. So you just one morning just woke up and said, "Hey, I'm going to get involved with this group."
Well, I was upset about certain things that went on with the election
Okay.
in 2020.
Okay.
And so...
You and 70 other million Americans,
Yes.
yes, yeah.
yeah.
But there were 70 or 80 million who were happy, so.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Okay.
So, so I was taking the biblical citizenship course that
Okay.
some people at my church told me about. And Mark Meckler, who is actually the president, the CEO of Convention of States, he also participates in biblical citizenship. That's put on by Rick Green, David Barton, that group.
Two great guys.
Yes.
Oh, they're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's how I became involved. One day when I was watching, the class that night, they mentioned Convention of States and, touched on what it was about. So I immediately went, so I did the petition and I, clicked on the checkbox to become a volunteer, and someone contacted me, and the rest is history.
Okay. Yeah. So now you've taken the plunge. So what's your title with the group?
So I'm district captain
Okay.
for 2 of the House districts in Michigan. And again, this is referring to House districts for the state government, not
Okay.
Congress. I mean, we figure the Congress people, they're so out of touch, it's not even worth trying to work with those guys. So we're working with the state.
So you're a captain in 2 districts?
Yes.
19, because that is Livonia.
Yes.
I do know that because I'm into about politics. And I know the state districts. What's the other one?
16.
16. Oh, so that's just Southwest Land
Yes.
and Garden City. Okay. All right. So now you're and I would take it there's 110 district captains as far as to cover all the districts, right?
Right. Well,
You may not have
not
all.
exactly. I mean, some districts
doing
have
double duty.
multiple, like I'm doing
Okay.
double, so yes.
So, in a nutshell, what is the purpose of the Convention of States?
The purpose is to put more of the will of the people back into the way things are operating in the federal government.
Okay, and
Meaning,
okay, go ahead.
and that's they've organized those into 3 sections.
Okay.
The first is term limits for Congress people and for other federal bureaucrats, judges, people like Fauci, other leaders up there that have been there 30 odd years, 40. It's, that wasn't really, I don't think that's what the founders intended. So
Right. So now, how does it actually work in a nutshell? So,
how does the Convention of States work?
how does that work?
Yes, so that works. The way it works is 34 states. The Article 5
Okay.
it says that 2/3 of the states can come together, their legislatures can come together and say, we want a convention of states. So since we have 50 states, that comes out to 34 states. And currently 16 have already voted for it. And they've done the resolution in their state and government. And so once there are 34 states, then the states send delegates. They use their own processes to
Okay.
select or appoint or, just do elections for delegates that go to this convention. The delegates are actually under pretty tight rules of what they can do. They have to really, really listen to what the states want, and they can't just
They can't go
propose.
rogue, basically.
No,
Right,
not
right.
at all. And
So-
some states even make it illegal that they can, it can be a crime and they can go to jail for that.
Okay, so you got to have 34 to call the convention.
Yes.
And let's just say they come up with 3 great ideas. We need to change this. They could probably come up with 100 the way our Congress is, but let's just say, so they come up with 3. Then how many does it take to actually make it law?
So to make it law, to actually amend the Constitution
amend
would
it,
be 38 houses of representatives and 38 state senates.
Okay.
So this is
So basically, it's not a situation to where you're going to call this convention and somebody can come up with this harebrained idea like, make me emperor.
No,
that ain't going to happen.
Unfortunately,
right? I mean,
okay, for you.
For me, right? So it can't go rogue.
No.
So, well, you know what, Michelle, it's been great talking to you about this, and I think I'm gonna reach out to your organization and see if we can get somebody else back in to really talk a little bit more, the nuts and bolts
Sure.
of this, because I think this is something that Michiganders need to know. But you know what? Why don't you tell them about what's going to be happening this Thursday?
Yes, for sure. This Thursday at 11:30 in Lansing, we have a very large rally that's going on. And it's a peaceful rally. We're not protesting anything. All we are doing is showing with our numbers, our literal numbers, to Lansing, to our representatives that, hey, this is important to us. This is important to us citizens who have been really forgotten by, most of the government. So that's
Awesome.
really what that's about. And we have a link on the Michigan Convention of States website. There's a link right at the top that says June 10th rally, and that has all kinds of parking information. We will have Mark Meckler himself will be there and be speaking. Steve Dace, who's published several really popular books.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
He's a rock star.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, folks, it was a pleasure having you, Michelle. And I'm going to be out there Thursday. And folks, if you got some time Thursday, I would highly encourage you to show up. And also check out the website. And until we meet again, remember, Joshua 24:15.